When people look at my life, they often think I was once broke, that I struggled, that I faced hardship because of lack of money. But I want to tell you something important. I was never broke. Not really. You see, being broke is not just about the number in your bank account. It's a state of mind. It's how you see yourself, your future, and your possibilities. I was never broke because I never allowed my spirit to be limited by my circumstance. When you have no money, many will say, you are broke. But when you have no vision, no passion, no hope, then you are truly broke. I had no money, yes, but I had dreams bigger than the sky. I had an endless curiosity and an unbreakable belief that the future belonged to those who dared to work for it. The moment I stopped thinking about what I didn't have and started focusing on what I could create, that was the moment I realized I was never broke. Because your value is not defined by what you possess, it's defined by what you believe you can become. I met failure many times. I was rejected, told no, turned away, but those moments never broke me. Why? Because failure does not make you broke. Giving up does. As long as you keep learning, keep trying, keep pushing forward, you are wealthy beyond measure. True poverty is when you stop dreaming. When you believe that your situation is your destiny. When you stop investing in yourself, your skills, and your mind. I was never poor in spirit. I was always rich in hope, in resilience, in courage. Money is a tool, not the master. Some of the richest people I know have the poorest minds. Some of the poorest people I know have the richest hearts. The difference lies in how you see yourself and your potential. When you feel you have nothing, remember, you have time. Time is the greatest asset anyone has. It is the chance to learn, to grow, to build something meaningful. I was never broke because I had time and I used it wisely. If you are waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, I tell you this, that moment may never come. But every day is an opportunity to take a small step forward. The day you stop waiting and start acting is the day you realize you are never broke. We live in a world that tries to define us by what we lack, but I challenge you to define yourself by what you create. Your mindset, your attitude, your work ethic. These are your true wealth. So, if you think you are broke, ask yourself, am I broke in money or broke in spirit? Because one can be fixed with hard work, learning, and persistence. The other only breaks you if you let it. Remember, I was never broke because I never gave up on myself. I never stopped believing in the power of tomorrow. I never stopped working to build a better future. And you can do the same. Most successful people didn't start rich. They started with belief. They believed they could grow, create, and build. They failed, adapted, and tried again. Their mindset, not money, was the foundation of their success. They didn't let temporary conditions shape their long-term vision. A strong mindset views money as a tool, not a barrier. You might not have much now, but you know you can earn, manage, and grow it. You become focused on building skills, creating value, and seeking opportunities. This mindset turns you from a victim into a builder. Your mindset influences everyday decisions. Someone with a growth mindset sees financial challenges as learning moments, opportunities to budget better or rethink priorities. Someone with a scarcity mindset sees the same situation as defeat. The difference is how they interpret it, not the reality itself. Mindset also shapes how you relate to others. If you believe you're broke and stuck, you may withdraw or resent others' success. But if you believe in growth and abundance, you connect, collaborate, and lift others up. Building strong relationships that create more opportunity. Shifting your mindset takes practice. It starts with becoming aware of limiting thoughts and actively replacing them with empowering ones. Focus on what you can control, your effort, attitude, and learning. Celebrate small wins and treat setbacks as lessons rather than failures. Gratitude is one of the most powerful tools for shifting mindset. When you focus on what you do have, you start to see the world differently. You feel more resourceful, more hopeful. Gratitude turns your attention to possibilities instead of problems. Surrounding yourself with growth-minded people helps too. Their energy and optimism can influence yours. Being around those who challenge you to grow helps. You stay focused on your potential, not your limitations. Continuous learning is another key. When you invest time in growing your skills or understanding money, you build confidence. That confidence reduces fear and expands your capacity to act boldly. Setbacks will happen. Life isn't always fair, and the climb may be steep. But your mindset determines whether you stop climbing or find a new path. Those who keep moving, even when it's tough, are the ones who eventually break through. Remember, broke is a condition, not your identity. It's temporary. And the first step to changing your situation is changing how you think about it. This mindset applies to more than finances. It affects how you approach work, relationships, and life. When you believe in your ability to create and improve, you act with purpose, you solve problems, take initiative, and inspire others. When you believe you're stuck or lacking, you retreat and wait. Ultimately, the mindset that you're never truly broke is one of empowerment. It's the belief that you are more than your bank balance. You are your vision, your courage, and your persistence. And when you lead with that, you create momentum that no financial setback can stop. By shifting your mindset, you shift your future. You move from fear to faith, from scarcity to abundance, from limitation to potential. And that's where real change begins. Failure is something almost everyone fears. It's often seen as the end of the road, a sign you're not good enough or that your dreams were unrealistic. But failure, by itself, doesn't make you broke. What truly breaks a person is quitting, giving up on yourself, your dreams, and the belief that you can still grow and overcome. Failure is part of the process of becoming successful. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of the journey. Every person who's ever achieved something worthwhile has failed at some point. What sets them apart is not their ability to avoid failure, but their refusal to let failure define them. Failure is not the end. It's a teacher. It shows you what doesn't, forces you to adapt, and builds resilience. Seen from this perspective, failure becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. The real danger lies in quitting, because quitting ends the journey altogether. It shuts the door on future growth, learning, and opportunity. Quitting is a choice, a decision to stop trying. It often stems from discouragement, fear, or exhaustion. But it's also the point where many people turn away from the very thing that could transform their lives. You are never truly broke until you give up trying. Failure, in contrast, is often out of your control. It happens when things don't go as planned. But quitting is fully within your control, and that's what makes it powerful. Because you can always choose to keep going. One major reason people quit is the fear of failure itself. Fear of looking foolish, of feeling pain or embarrassment. But courage isn't about not having fear, it's about acting in spite of it. Each time you keep moving forward, even after failure, you grow stronger and braver. Failure is almost always temporary. What feels like a setback today could be the beginning of a breakthrough tomorrow. Many success stories are built on repeated failures. The difference is that those who succeed refuse to stop. They learn, adjust, and try again. Practically speaking, failure gives you feedback. It tells you what's not working so you can change your approach. Without it, you'd never improve. Those who quit miss out on this powerful learning process. They stop before the next version of themselves has a chance to emerge. Resilience, the ability to bounce back from failure, is a key trait of successful people. It is built by staying in the game when things get hard, by learning from your mistakes, and by believing in your worth even when results don't show it yet. Resilient people don't just survive failure, they grow because of it. Quitting might feel like relief in the moment, but it often leads to long-term regret. Many people look back and wish they had pushed through, because often the step after failure is the one that changes everything. To avoid this, learn to separate failure from your self-worth. Just because something didn't work doesn't mean you are a failure. Results don't define your value. You do. This mindset gives you the emotional strength to keep going. Support from others makes a big difference. When you're surrounded by people who believe in growth, failure becomes less scary. Encouragement and shared experience remind you that you're not alone and that persistence is worth it. Clear goals and strong purpose help too. When you know what you're working toward and why it matters, you're less likely to quit when things get tough. Purpose gives pain a reason and failure a role in the bigger picture. Progress often happens in small, steady steps. Expecting instant results sets you up for disappointment, but seeing the journey as a series of manageable actions helps keep you going. Each step builds momentum, confidence, and insight, even the ones that don't go perfectly. Emotions will come with failure, frustration, sadness, doubt. That's normal. Let yourself feel them, but don't let them decide your future. Use those emotions as fuel to keep moving instead of excuses to stop. Many people quit not because they can't succeed, but because they expected success to come faster or easier. But meaningful success takes time, effort, and patience. When you embrace this truth, you're less shaken by setbacks and more committed to the long game. Finally, take time to reflect on your failures. What can you learn? How can you improve? This kind of reflection transforms failure into wisdom. It helps you grow, evolve, and come back stronger. Failure invites humility. It reminds us we're still learning. But quitting shuts that door. When you quit, you miss the chance to get better, to ask for help, or to try something new. In the end, failure doesn't break you. Quitting does. The key is to keep going, to believe in your ability to grow, and to see failure not as the end, but as a critical part of the process. Persistence, not perfection, is what leads to success. Time is the one resource we all have, in equal measure, 24 hours in a day. Yet it's often the most overlooked and undervalued. People chase money, skills, or status, but time is the only thing you can never get back once it's spent. Recognizing that time is your greatest asset can transform how you live, work, and shape your future. Unlike money, time is non-renewable. Once a moment passes, it's gone forever. This makes time incredibly valuable. How you spend each hour determines the life you build. If you treat time carelessly, you lose potential. If you use it wisely, you build a life of meaning and purpose. Many people chase wealth, believing it will bring happiness. But wealth without time is hollow. What's the point of having money if you have no time to enjoy it, rest, or be with those you love? True richness is having the freedom to spend your time in ways that matter, creating, learning, connecting, and growing. Time also has a compounding effect. The small actions you take daily, whether reading, exercising, or building relationships, multiply over weeks and years. Like interest in a savings account, wise use of time creates long-term returns in knowledge, health, and success. One reason time is often wasted is because it's invisible. You can't hold it, so it's easy to let it slip through. Distractions, procrastination, or low-value activities. But every moment spent without intention is a moment lost, an opportunity missed to move closer to your dreams. To treat time as your greatest asset, you must be intentional. This starts with setting clear priorities and aligning your time with your values. It also means saying no to things that don't serve your purpose. Time management isn't about doing more, it's about doing what matters. Being mindful of time also means being fully present. Whether you're working or resting, quality matters as much as quantity. Multitasking and rushing dilute the experience. Presence creates depth, satisfaction, and better results. Time is also a tool for growth. While the future is uncertain, the time you have now is your chance to prepare. Every hour spent learning, practicing, or developing yourself makes you more capable and confident. The more you invest in growth, the less you rely on luck or external circumstances. Time teaches patience too. Real success takes time. The more you invest in patience, the more presence, relationships, time, diplomacy, self-development, sales, life, time, productivity, success inspires people to rise to more, to more. Time, it's built through sustained effort, not instant results. People who understand time's value know that steady progress is more powerful than quick wins. They trust the process and appreciate the journey. But time alone isn't enough. You need energy and health to use it well. When your mind and body are strong, your time becomes more valuable. Taking care of your health isn't separate from success, it's part of it. Your energy level determines how much value you can create with your time. Those who treat time as infinite often delay what matters, assuming there's always tomorrow. But time is finite. This realization fuels urgency. It pushes you to act now rather than wait for perfect conditions. The present is the only moment guaranteed. Time also allows reflection. Time also allows reflection. Space to think, plan, and learn from experience turns time into a powerful teacher. Reflection helps you grow, avoid repeated mistakes, and make smarter decisions going forward. Successful people often credit their achievements to how they used their time. They focus on high-impact tasks, avoid distractions, and protect their schedules. This discipline turns time from something that slips away into a powerful advantage. Purpose gives time direction. When you know why you're doing something, whether it's building a business, supporting family, or pursuing a passion, every moment becomes more meaningful. Purpose fuels clarity, focus, and motivation. Everyone gets the same 24 hours a day. The difference lies in how you use them. That's empowering. It means success isn't about what you start with, but how wisely you manage your time. Technology offers tools to save time, but can also steal it. Social media, constant notifications, and digital distractions can drain hours. Being mindful of your tech habits, setting boundaries, and designing routines can protect your most valuable resource. Time also fuels creativity. When you give yourself space to think and breathe, ideas emerge. A rushed life leaves little room for inspiration. Valuing your time creates the environment your creativity needs to flourish. Relationships thrive on time. Time invested in family, friends, mentors, or teammates builds trust, connection, and shared purpose. These bonds often become the most fulfilling and impactful parts of your life. Ultimately, recognizing time as your greatest asset invites you to live with urgency and gratitude. Urgency means acting with purpose and focus. Gratitude means appreciating each moment, each lesson, and each opportunity to grow. When you honor time, you live more fully, not stuck in the past or waiting for the future, but grounded in the present. You begin making choices that align with your values, dreams, and priorities. You stop drifting and start directing. Because in the end, it's not how much time you had, it's how intentionally you lived it. In a world obsessed with owning things, it's easy to mistake possessions for true value. We're often told that success means having more money, bigger houses, fancier cars, or the latest gadgets. But real value doesn't come from what you own, it comes from what you create. This simple truth shifts the way you see yourself, your work, and your purpose. Possessions are temporary. They can be lost, stolen, or damaged. They provide comfort or status for a time, but rarely bring lasting fulfillment. The excitement of a new purchase fades quickly, leaving a desire for the next thing. This cycle traps many people in endless consumption without real satisfaction. Creation, by contrast, is lasting and meaningful. When you create a business, a piece of art, a solution, or even a positive impact, you contribute something unique to the world. What you create carries your vision, effort, and individuality. It has the power to grow, inspire, and influence others long after it's made. Creating value gives you purpose. It requires you to invest in yourself, your ideas, skills, and relationships. This shift from acquiring to creating brings deep fulfillment and a sense of direction. It encourages growth and learning, helping you become more connected to a purpose beyond material gain. Perhaps most powerfully, creation isn't limited by your current resources. You don't need wealth to be creative or impactful. Ideas, innovation, and kindness are available to everyone. Even with few possessions, you can build value that changes your life and the lives of others. This democratizes success, making it accessible to anyone willing to contribute. Focusing on creation also builds resilience. Possessions can be taken away, but what you create, your knowledge, your impact, your work, becomes part of your legacy. This mindset helps you face setbacks with confidence, knowing that real value comes from within, not from what you accumulate. Every act of creation fuels growth. Each project, problem solved, or skill developed increases your capacity. You become more capable and confident. Unlike material wealth, this kind of growth compounds over time and cannot be measured by what you own, but by how much you evolve and give back. Many successful people credit their achievements not to what they've collected, but to what they've created. Ideas, movements, businesses, or communities that serve others. Their contributions generate opportunities, relationships, and fulfillment far greater than material possessions ever could. Creation also means looking beyond yourself. It involves understanding the needs of others and finding ways to help. This outward focus builds trust and respect, which are more valuable and lasting than any object. When others see the value you bring, they are drawn to support and amplify your efforts. Creation doesn't need to be grand or revolutionary. Small, everyday contributions, teaching, improving a process, helping someone, can ripple outward in powerful ways. These small acts build momentum and create a lasting, positive impact. The pursuit of possessions often leads to competition, comparison, and dissatisfaction. Creation, however, is expansive and collaborative. When you create, you often inspire others to do the same. This shared creativity strengthens communities and multiplies impact. Creating value also transforms how you view money and resources. Money becomes a tool for building rather than a goal in itself. This mindset encourages wise investments in learning, tools, and relationships that support your ability to create and contribute meaningfully. While possessions can become burdens, needing upkeep and attention, creation, especially of ideas, skills, and solutions, is more sustainable. It requires less material, cost, but delivers greater freedom and impact. When you measure your worth by what you create, you adopt a mindset of contribution. Challenges become opportunities to innovate. You're driven not by the desire to acquire, but by the desire to make a difference. Creation shapes your identity. What you build reflects your values, passions, and skills. It provides pride and purpose that possessions cannot match.